I like cigars, and then I don't.
I'm sorry?
I know. It's weird.
That is a weird thing for you to say to me.
Yeah.
Not toasted enough. Just ruined my cigar. It's fine.
How did I do that, guy?
Does he have headphones?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, no, he's listening.
3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the Target Practice Podcast.
Yeah, you're good. You're going to burn uneven for a minute, but that's okay. It should fix itself. Yeah, so one of the pluses about the new fucking podcast area is we can smoke cigars in it. We can smoke. It's my favorite part. Amongst other things, it's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Suppose in this episode, we should probably tell you guys what we've been doing for 3 years since the last one. We didn't do that.
Yeah, we've been fishing a bunch, smoking cigars, getting thin-ish. Well, no, losing weight, getting thin. That's it. Yeah.
Getting jacked. That's what we're trying to do here.
Getting jacked.
Yeah, we're going to run you guys through all that in this episode.
I mean,
The first one was supposed to be this, didn't do that.
lost a dad, sold a house. We both moved to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Lost a fiance. She's a hoa. That's why. I didn't lose her.
Oh, yeah, it's not like she's lost in the mail or anything.
No. She gone.
Yeah. Well, we did that.
And,
As much as you want to. We'll get into that.
yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go through everything. We're going to run like a play-by-play of what's happened since the last time you guys heard from us prior to the episode before this.
We both have kids who are talking and walking and doing things of that nature.
Yeah.
'Cause I think last time yours was still
one.
not even.
Yeah, she was born in 19. She was... Well, last episode was April of 21.
Oh. Oh, yeah,
So
she was
she
walking.
was-
She was walking and talking-ish. Not really. But
Yeah. So, that's what we're going to do this time. What the hell have we been doing? What in the fuck have Paul and Cody been doing for 3 years?
yeah.
You just randomly drop a new podcast on us?
We had a thing. What was it? What the fuck? Oh, never mind. That wasn't it. Something else.
Yeah, so first, before we get into that, daily dose of debauchery here. Cigars, drinks. You having a beer?
Yeah, what do you got? Terrapin.
Terrapin or Dr. Robot?
Dr. Robot's going to be terrible, I'm sure.
It's not good.
Yeah.
You want to do this recreation IPA? I'm going to do it too. 99 calories. Oh,
Nope. Not doing
it's
that.
one of those. You know
What else
what?
you got?
I'm going to do it.
Are you?
It's a low-cal. Oh, see, I read it last time as local IPA. It's low-cal IPA. Tread lightly.
Oh, God. Does it
It's got a
suck your
story.
dick under a fucking...
I'm going to try it. You want the do you want the Hopsecutioner or do you want the depth perception?
Depth perception, I think. What's depth perception?
It's the one I just had. It's
Oh,
9.2.
I'll do the other one.
Hopsecutioner.
Sure. Yours definitely sucks your dick under like a hemp towel or something.
I don't think that's what it is.
Yeah, I think it is.
Maybe like on a treadmill or
Hemp
something.
clothing.
It's not like fucking. It's not marijuana infused or anything. All right, so Terrapin recreationally low cal IPA, 99 calories. Wow,
But a bitch
that's-
ain't one.
But a bitch ain't. What's got a story? I'm gonna read it.
Sure it does, yeah.
It does. Oh, we're also smoking.
For all you clowns that want to drink something other than Michelob Ultra.
Yeah. Probably for anyone that cares, we're smoking My Father La Opalencia. It's my favorite cigar. So, well, right now it's my favorite cigar. This is the Corona size for anyone that cares or knows. That's what we're smoking. It's delicious.
I don't know, and I'm not sure that I care, but
You
I
got
know
it?
that. Yeah. I've got also, and I can read it. So I've got,
It's a huge plus.
yeah. So mine has seven hops. in it.
Yeah.
7 different hops. Centennial, Warrior, Chinook, Simcoe,
Simcoe.
whatever. Amarillo, Cascade, and we're back to Centennial. 6 varieties of hops.
6 whole varieties. What does the story say? He says he can read it.
Are 6 varieties of hops in a beer enough to lose your hop head over? We at Terrapin think so. To prove it, we've made our Hopsecutioner IPA with the choicest buds we could find. We hope you enjoy this killer IPA. Cool, man.
Choicest.
When they say our 6 varieties of hops in a beer, it's actually in a beer. It's not in a beer. It's in a beer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mine says, pack in, enjoy your favorite Terrapin brew. Okay, got it.
These guys are out of Athens, Georgia.
Sure. That's where University of Georgia plays, right? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep. Recreation Ale is specifically formulated to accompany you on all your adventures, packing in just 99 calories so it won't weigh you down. This full-flavored, low-cal IPA will keep your feet moving on the trail of life. Taste the outdoors. This is gonna suck.
Yeah, it's adorable.
4.2% alcohol.
Yeah. On the trails of life, is that what it said?
Yeah.
You fucking hemp-wearing hippie fuck.
This is gonna be, if I don't like it, I'm just gonna drink another different one.
Yeah, I would too.
Did you open that in the... Oh. I like the tab is lime green, which I'm a huge fan of. Well, let's see. I'm gonna give it a roll. Give it a roll.
It's horrible.
It smells, you know what it smells like?
Dog shit.
I need you to have some more faith.
Tastes like Michelob Ultra that doesn't suck as much.
That's terrific. It's good.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's got less calories than a GD White Claw.
It's good like Tab. Diet Tab's good. It's just a hair above shit water.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the best low-calorie IPA I've ever had. Easy.
Yeah. Low bar.
Taste it.
All right. Tasting. Cheers.
I accidentally inhaled that. I'm gonna die.
It's not bad.
Fuck you.
This guy's dying over there.
I thought it was my vape.
Yeah. No, that's not good for you. Not good for you. Not good. Yeah. I'm fucking dying here, man.
Feeling a little woozy here.
Woozy. I mean, you should get a prize if you could put in the comments what that is from. You better fucking know.
Okay, I'm okay.
You better know.
Need more beer.
But if you don't, or if you got to go look for it, that's fine. Put it in the comments.
No, that's good.
Dying here, man.
Cut too deep, man. Okay. All right, I'm back. I'm okay.
Liver alone. I'm giving away too much shit.
Liver alone.
Oh, movie trivia. My favorite.
Yeah. Let's get into this. What are we talking about today, Paul?
I did it to me.
Yeah, I
3
did.
goddamn years later. You
Yeah.
still got me. Yeah. We're talking about our story for the last 3 years. Why we haven't. Well,
should we
not
do,
really.
Should we do it in like sequential timeline, like the both of us?
I mean, we could.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, however you want to do it, however you see fit, I feel like sequential is probably a smart move.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a plan to move out here.
Sure. So like before the last episode, the last time you heard from us was April of 21. And we said there was a lull in the action. We were going to put them back. Mm-hmm. It was 3 years later. Here we are.
3 years later.
3 years later.
So what happened after that? We stopped doing the podcast. I was in California for another 5 months after that.
Yeah.
4 months. 4.5. Yeah. During that time of which we were basically just filming our fishing for the Ditch Panda YouTube channel. That's essentially what we did all those like 4 or 5 months.
We packed as much in as we could. We also we did our last podcast well before April 21st. We just didn't publish it until then. So we were done recording
Yeah, by
probably like a month prior to that.
sure. Yeah.
Because we were already recording Ditch Panda stuff
Yeah.
at that point. We were actually moonlighting, if you will.
We will.
Yeah. And so we were kind of playing we were kind of playing both sides, I
Yeah.
suppose. Or whatever you're gonna call it. We were doing both.
100%.
Yeah. We had 3 jobs.
Yeah, a little bit. So nothing really changed after that. I mean, for those months. Like we were just recording.
We were
fishing.
both so we both worked for the state of California. We were both state prison law enforcement officers,
Sure.
peace officers, correctional officers, whatever the fuck you want to call it. State of California, you have peace officer status.
Yeah.
If you're a state corrections officer. So carry a gun in 50 states,
Yeah.
carry
The
off
whole
duty, the whole deal. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole shebang.
The whole shebang.
Kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
It's not something you hear very much anymore.
Yeah.
So after that, we I had plans to leave in my last day of work was the last day of August 31st, and we left out the first week of September.
Yeah.
We drove. My mom and wife flew, and then I drove truck and trailer across the fucking whole country, basically.
Yeah.
One shot. Didn't stop for the hotel, nothing. Just took her one shot.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah. Yeah. And once we got here, Paul was still working corrections.
I worked for an additional exact year.
Really? Was it additional exactly?
It was exactly a year.
Huh.
A lot happened in that year.
A lot did happen.
A lot happened. Rip to the cap.
Nothing really happened on my end. Like as far as us and the YouTube was going, like I was recording videos here
Right.
and fishing with a buddy that we had linked up with here in Tennessee, who also is from California and moved. Mm-hmm. So I was getting content here, filming fishing and non-fishing content. Paul was filming fishing content and non-fishing content in California.
Yep.
And we did that for the whole year.
Yeah.
Then in May, it was May, right?
So May, I guess officially, according to the death certificate, May 14th. We'll get into a little bit of that. Well, I will get into a little bit of that story. So, my kids were coming out that very next week.
Yeah.
That week, actually. My dad was flying to Montana to go fishing for a week. His annual trip, fly fishing trip. Me and my now ex, Jess, we were all living together. Anyway, my dad was living with us. We decided to let him know that we were moving in October, right before he left to go to Montana.
The plan was that you were going to move out to Tennessee in October.
In October. So we wanted to let him know because the kids were coming out that week.
Right.
Or I should say that next week. And they knew about it.
Right.
They were at the age at that point where it would have come up. And we wanted to make sure, I wanted to make sure that he knew about it and that we had talked about plans before the kids got there, and it was just like dumped on him.
Sure.
So we let him know. The next day, he leaves to Montana, and that's the last I heard from him. Last I talked to him.
Yeah.
Was Monday morning. I'll go into detail because it's fine, whatever. It's part of the podcast. So, Sheriff's Department knocked on my door. I believe it was Saturday night.
Yeah. It was.
About 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Sunday, actually. And told me that they had found his body. They weren't exactly sure how long he'd been dead at that
Sure.
point, and gave me a number to Montana Sheriff's Department, so the County Sheriff's Department of Montana. Would obviously have all the information. So I waited until the morning, gave that sheriff a call, went through the whole thing, figured out that he died fishing. Not physically died fishing. He died one of those nights.
Yeah.
They went ahead and decided it was May 14th or whatever. So anyway, that was crazy
Yeah, it was wild.
to say the least. I don't wish that on anyone, how we found out.
Yeah.
So at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're obviously pretty discombobulated.
Sure.
You're, all the way asleep at that point. We saw on the ring camera that it was a cop, so I
Right.
didn't bring my gun
Yeah.
because it was just a weird situation. Obviously, I felt so bad for that girl. She was by herself.
She was by herself?
She was by herself. Fucking wild.
Was it a sheriff?
Yes,
It was
it was Riverside County.
Riverside County Sheriff sent
Yes.
one cop.
Sent one. Yes,
Huh. I didn't know that. That
and
seems weird.
she handled it really well. But it was wild, like to hear that, or
Yeah.
Anyhow, my mom was coming down. My kids were going to be there. Obviously my kids' mom was going to be there. Katie was going to be there, like for a week.
Yeah.
Right. So we went into like hyperdrive to try and get as much as we possibly could get done Sunday and Monday before the kids showed up, because the kids showed up on Tuesday.
Sure.
And then went through the whole thing. I mean, it was just, it's very interesting what you have to do when. So I was only child of Cap. We call him Cap. Everything lands on me.
Yeah.
Didn't have a will. Went into probate. Went in, his estate or the estate. Blah blah blah. This is. But having it happen in a different state was
sure.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, thankfully he was with a friend, like a friend of the family that we had gone up and fished there he had been fishing there for 20 some years.
Right.
On their property is where he stayed every time. I'd been up there before. Beautiful place, Madison River, amazing fly fishing. Anyway, so that family gathered his things and sent it back, obviously, which was awesome. The sheriff took care of all of his personal belongings that were on his person.
Sure.
And got them back to me very quickly, which included, a extremely expensive watch that he'd owned forever. He had a Rolex Submariner for a long time. I mean, since he lived in Hawaii. So he jokingly would tell me that it was mine when he would die, as he did with the Ranger and as he did with the big boat that we're still dealing with. Anyway, got more stories on that, but it was very interesting. It was actually extremely smooth in terms of the logistics.
Right.
And what was very interesting was talking to the coroner / so-and-so. I mean, everything in Montana is plus this and this and this. Like, you're the sheriff, you're the coroner, you're the
Right.
fucking, hair care and tire center, quote Ron White, it's just like a very, because it's tight knit, there's not a lot going on.
Right.
There's not a lot of people, They told me, which was very crazy. Like they told me you would be amazed how many people come to Montana and die.
It's a weird thing to say.
It's a weird thing to say, but it was in context, like on how they handled the situation, and it was because I had said, like, you guys are really, this whole thing has been unbelievably fantastic. The way you've dealt with this, handled it, the whole thing, and that's when they said you would be surprised how many people die in Montana. Like, come to Montana and die.
Huh. Okay.
All right. It's fucking weird, but I got you. Cool, man. Yeah, it was a weird time, and we had to get everything handled. We had to sell a house, we had to sell a car, we had to sell a boat, kept one. We had to sell get all this stuff handled for the estate, and again, landed on me. And so thankfully I was able to take a lot of time off work because I didn't really give a fuck anyway. I was almost out anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that. Obviously the time frame kind of changed. Almost not even at all.
Yeah.
Crazy enough.
It didn't really.
We were able to get the house in order. We were able to get a bunch of stuff done to the house putting it on the market.
Yeah.
Fell out of escrow one time. Ended up not selling the house till we were here.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, we left, which, you know, happy heavenly birthday. Nah, I'm just kidding. We left California on my dad's birthday.
Right.
October 11th is when we left. Took us 4 days. We stopped. We had 2 shitty dogs that are responsible for, what, $2,500 worth of carpet damage to your place that I put, you know.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway, a story for another day. But, yeah, and not to, well, let's just go further than that. $3,500, $4,000 worth of carpet damage at that house.
Yeah.
That we replaced. And then we replaced carpet here, too.
Yeah.
I say we, I.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true because I didn't pay for the whole thing because you got upgraded carpet or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I paid for what? Anyway,
know.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Point is,
We basically split it.
those fucking things cost me a lot of money. And I didn't even own the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right? They're just fucking garbage dogs. Anyway. So it took us a few days because we had to stay in pet-friendly hotels. We had to stop fucking 400 times from the not shit outside. You know.
Yeah.
Should have brought a piece of carpet with me.
Yeah, it was
Probably
shit on
would've- I
that.
would have just fucking handled that anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can't tell, when he got here, he stayed with me.
Yeah, so that's So we got to Tennessee.
In the meantime, let's go in succession here.
Yeah.
Between when your dad passed away, I had just bought my house. It was the same month.
Yeah, it was April. Oh, it was May?
It was May.
You started buying the house in April, right?
Before that, but yeah.
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 What a nightmare.
Yeah, so we had only been in the house maybe 2 weeks. I think our first day in was like the 1st of May, so we only
Yeah.
been in the house 2 weeks
Yeah.
after we bought it. And yeah, and then come October, you guys drove across the country and moved in here.
Yep. And, well, moved in here in a storage unit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then once they were here, it was just back to like basically when we were in California. We were filming videos for the Ditch Panda YouTube, fishing a bunch. And
Yeah, I decided not to go back to work right away at all.
right.
And that was the plan. That was the plan altogether.
Yeah.
Was, like, honestly, I didn't want to go back to work at all. I didn't go back to work until March of the next year.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of that time on the water.
Yeah. It
I
was
mean,
like you had like 4 months off.
The very first week we were here, we fished a Spro event.
It was
Like, we were on the water one day before that event.
you guys got here, and what day did you guys get here? It was like a Tuesday.
No, we left on a Monday, got here on a Thursday. We planned it so that we would be here when you were off. So we actually
You got here on a Thursday.
We got here on a Friday.
On a Friday.
because you were off on Fridays.
Okay.
We planned it so that we planned that specifically so we would show up on a day that you were off.
Got here Friday. The next Friday we fished Chickamauga for the first time for tournament practice. That was the next Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got smoked.
Yeah. Didn't catch a single fish on tournament practice.
Not a weighable fish.
We didn't catch anything on practice.
No, that was the first time that we have ever got skunked. The first and only time we've ever been skunked on that boat.
On the boat
was
together.
the first day in fucking on Chickamauga.
Yeah. But during the tournament, we caught a bunch of fish.
Caught a shitload of fish.
Yeah.
They were all about 4.5 inches long. No, they were bigger than that.
Yeah. So.
Actually, we weighed fish that day.
Yeah, we did.
Of course we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you had, that was before I got here. You worked, you tried to work at a.
Yeah, I mean, I worked, when I first got out here, I was off for about 2 months. I got out here in the first week of September, and I think I went back to work in November, the beginning of mid of November. So I had like 2 months off, essentially.
So to get back to that real quick, cap that. My last day of work was I believe the day after Labor Day.
That's funny.
Because I wanted that money.
Yeah, sure.
Because I got double time on that day.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. So technically it was the day after that.
Yeah.
And then I had a whole month off before,
because you had to button stuff
which
up.
was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because, man, I needed that.
Packing, getting all
that shit ready.
Yeah.
And we had it fucking dialed.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a pod, similar to a pod. It's U-Haul's version of a pod.
Right. It's a pod, regardless.
Yeah, it's a pod. And we got that thing. I mean, dude, we had that shit fucking dialed, man. It was unreal. I mean, I've never packed that efficient my entire fucking life.
When you have to, it's a...
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It worked fucking great. And it was smooth, man. The drive was smooth. We literally hit zero.
You were
weather.
towing a bass boat across the country.
Yeah.
And I towed a trailer with a
Right.
Harley and a dirt bike on it.
Yeah. Packed to the gills with fucking everything. I mean, it was fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I really enjoyed the drive across.
I did too. I think we went. Did we go the same exact way that you did, or did you stay south?
You went the 10, right? Or did you go up to Barstow and go over on the 40?
Yes.
That's the same route I went.
Yeah.
I remember it so vividly because of how hyper-focused I was, because of how tired I was. Mm-hmm. I took off from Paso Robles, California at like noon. And we started driving, and I drove all the way into Barstow, got gas in Barstow, drove from Barstow all the way into Kingman, Arizona, got gas there.
Love that place.
Kingman, Arizona, and had McDonald's. Remember that?
Nice.
Then I drove from Kingman, Arizona, all the way to Albuquerque, which was our next gas stop. And in Albuquerque, my mom's ex was like, "Do you want me to drive for a little bit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, drive for a little bit, and I'll wake up and take back over." So I get in the passenger seat. I close my eyes, and it's late. It's late night. It's probably 10, 11, midnight. I don't know, somewhere in there. Probably midnight now. 1 o'clock. I don't know how long it took, but the whole drive took us 32 hours. So
yeah.
But
funny enough, that's exactly what it took us, because we only drove for 8 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Like, it was very specific. Like, we got up at a specific time.
Yeah.
Drove so that we could get to the hotel.
Yeah, and like have some time to chill.
Be able to not only check in, but then we would get dinner, bring it to the hotel. We would have chill time, wear down, kind of relax.
Which is really the best way to do it.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Look, man, I've done your way before.
Terrible.
Because when we raced back in the day, it was all-nighters. That's all we did. Now, ours was a little different because we didn't have fucking vaginas in the passenger seat. Like, oh, yeah, I'll drive. And they drive for 14 minutes, and they're like,
So, okay, dream of fucking...
Yeah, sorry, keep going.
So we leave Albuquerque's gas station, I'm sure there's more of them, but the place looked pretty shitty, and I didn't want anything to do with it. So you about to hit that band, son, just so you know.
I got to figure out how to get it off.
So we leave Albuquerque. It's on the backside. There you go. I close my eyes. I put my head down, close my eyes. Not out of Albuquerque yet. I hear a slapping noise. And I open my eyes and I look over, and he is slapping himself in the face, trying to keep himself awake. I had been asleep for like 18 minutes. We weren't even out of Albuquerque, like, proper yet.
I just dashed on my dick.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Just wipe it. It's
Okay.
fine. I'm gonna. Yeah, it's good. I'm gonna vacuum tomorrow, anyways.
Damn.
So I'm like, hey man. He's like, we gotta pull over and sleep, man. I'm too tired to drive. And I'm like, bro, pull over. He pulled over on the side of the 40, side of the goddamn interstate, and I'm like, get out. And he gets out, and I get in the driver's seat. I'm like, let's fucking go. So this fool goes to sleep, and I'm just keep driving.
Yeah.
Get all the way into frickin'
Because that's what men do.
Yeah, get all the way into Amarillo, pull over for gas, had some really shitty breakfast at some fucking gas station, I don't know, and then continue to drive through the panhandle of Texas into Oklahoma City. In Oklahoma City, we stop at a Whataburger. First time I had that. Pretty good.
Not bad.
Not as crazy as everyone says, like crazy good as everyone says, but it was good.
It's never as good as, I mean, for the most part, it's never as good as people think it is or say it is. Gonna be.
Yeah. So in Oklahoma City, he's like, I'm good because he's been sleeping, basically since Albuquerque.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I'll take over. I'm like, all right. So I slept for an hour. I slept from Oklahoma City till we got, I can't remember the name of the town. It was like Fort something, Arkansas. Literally, as soon as you cross the border, there's an exit.
Yeah.
We got stopped to get gas there, and I took back over. So I slept an hour and 18 minutes, and I drove from that place in Arkansas all the way straight through Memphis. We stopped again in Arkansas, like before the Tennessee border, because
Right.
we didn't want to stop in Memphis for
We
gas.
didn't stop in Memphis either.
Because
we
you
wanted
get fucking
nothing.
shot up on the block there,
Yeah,
son.
no, you're good.
So we stopped at
Same deal.
fucking sketchy truck stop.
Yeah, we did too in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like that was our last. We'll keep going.
Sketchy fucking
Yeah.
truck stop, dude. Like glory holes in the fucking stall type of truck stop. It smelled like fried chicken in there because that old one-tooth fat lady was
Yeah.
still frying chicken at like
Fried
2
chicken,
o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it
Fried
was
chicken,
like 10.
farts and cum.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it was gross. So we take off out of there, drive all the way through Memphis. On the other side of Nashville, between Memphis and Nashville, it's really stupid because you got to come into Memphis and go north and then back south,
yeah.
and then you back up north again. It's really dumb.
Yeah, it's a weird deal.
But outside of Nashville, again, we don't want to stop in Nashville because Nashville, I don't know if anybody have ever been there, but Nashville's highway and street system is just really fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked.
You
It's 40?
Yeah, you snake through Nashville, which is weird on the 40. I don't know why they couldn't just build a straight line, but they didn't. So
It's
we were
weird for sure.
yeah. So probably 3 hours,
You
4
go-
hours of driving.
you
We
go
stopping at gas again.
In and out of Nashville 4 times, which is super weird. Yeah, I agree with you. We went. Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much.
Yeah. So we stopped outside of Nashville. I don't know how far, maybe 45 minutes to get gas, and then we trucked it all the way to my aunt's house from there. Ended up 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning or something.
Wow. Our first stop was Flagstaff, I believe.
Yeah, we drove
I believe.
because we gassed up in Kingman.
No,
so we drove
it
straight
was past Flagstaff. We stayed past Flagstaff first night. And then the second night was Panhandle. Didn't want anything to do with Albuquerque. Didn't want anything to do with that bad place. Of all things, we mapped out this deal where we knew no one, you don't even want to get gas in Albuquerque.
No,
Because
I
they'll
didn't
steal
want
your
to
credit
either.
card information.
Yeah.
It's really bad for that, apparently. So, yeah, we ended up staying. So we stayed AZ the first night, Texas the second night, Arkansas the third night,
Yeah, and then drove straight through.
and then drove, straight through. And,
Bro,
which was rad. I mean, we planned it out, literally, really perfectly because we got here early afternoon.
yeah, it was 2 o'clock.
The worst part about that drive was going that backwoods motherfucking way to get into here.
Because it took you down through Murfreesboro, huh?
Yeah, man, it was so fucking weird. Like,
Which was stupid.
if I would have done it again, obviously knowing, I would have gone all the way.
It still tells you to do that.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah, you go through Crossville.
Yeah, you go through that. It's super easy.
That way, your shitty part to the mountains is only like 10 miles
right?
instead of
and
like
it drops you
20,
to Spring
30.
City, and you're here. Very simple. Like, no, man, it dropped us. Well, from what I know now,
Dunlap, right?
No.
Oh, no, you came out
no.
of Pikeville.
No, we dropped in where the fucking garbage.
Yeah, that's
where the dump is
Pikeville.
right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck, dude? We went
that
through
was
some
stupid.
shit. It was so stupid.
It'll try to send you that way when you come back from Nashville still.
Yeah, so dumb. I mean, now I just take the 40 all the way to Crossville.
Yeah. Like it
And then
it
drop
might
down.
be faster. Like
I
when
don't give a fuck.
Google says like, okay, the speed limit's here or this, but like Google is only going off of like what it knows to be a law,
Right.
not what it knows, like not off of personal experience. Yeah, which we all know. So
yeah, I mean, we got here with good time. I mean, it was like perfect time. It was early afternoon. Mm-hmm. You know. Yeah, I mean, best thing I ever did.
yeah,
I mean,
I don't regret moving here.
not at all.
Not even a little.
Not
bit.
even a little bit. Obviously, closer to the kids, which is phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
the kids have spent so much time with their now cousin Reagan,
Yeah.
and Uncle Cody and Aunt Emily. I mean, it's amazing, you know, and having them and doing all the things that we do now. I mean, we just took them. Oh man, I didn't get to tell you. Like, we took them for that ride in the mountains,
Yeah.
and so we can get on that. I mean, do we want to go any farther with that? Like, deal? I mean,
Like with what we've been doing.
yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Well, okay, let's keep going.
yeah, I mean, it won't
take.
take too long. I know it's kind of boring, guys. You're probably not even listening anymore. It's okay, Bruce. It's okay.
Well, I mean, things
Just
happen.
for people that care, we're trying to just tell you what we've been doing and why the fuck we've been gone so long.
Yeah.
So, you guys got here, and we kept filming, and for Ditch Panda, and we were doing all that, and doing that a bunch. We were fishing a tournament trail, and just hyper focused on that.
We got monetized early.
Pretty quick.
In
'Cause we had the views.
23.
Yeah, because we had the views, and we were ready to go.
Got monetized, and we were kind of on our way. I got a job in March of 2023, which kind of, in retrospect, is basically like, I mean, we kind of had to stop doing what we were doing. It was very difficult for us to get content because
The channel, I was thinking about this the other day. The channel didn't fail. We failed the channel.
yeah, I mean, again, like when you think about it, like you got to take a jump, right? You got to take a leap. It was very difficult to film. It was hard to film because I get my kids every other weekend. Cody and Emily are both off for the most part Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
for the most part.
410s, yeah.
I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I got banker's hours, but I don't work at a bank. And it got to the point where it was extremely difficult. Like, we were only able to get content every other week,
It was every other weekend for basically one day. Like
Right.
we could fish
and we had to get
2 Saturdays a month is all me and Paul could fish together. So it was like we had 2 Saturdays a month, make 2 videos a month to fill 4 video spots, 1 a week,
right.
which meant like we would have to do other videos not on the water, or try to get 2 videos on the water,
And that, or Cody would have to go out on a Friday,
which I did.
which you did, or a weekend or whatever. But there's also plans, family plans.
Yeah,
which
I mean,
you
it
just
just
can't get
happens.
past. I
Some
mean,
just fall on those weeks that were like,
Right,
we're
and you-
supposed to be filming this
if you
Saturday.
have a family and you have a full-time job, there's very little room for error when it comes to filming. And when you film an entire day's worth of video or videos or whatever, and half of them don't come out because of audio or video issues,
Yeah.
it gets
that is
to-
not in our control.
that are not in our control. And then you take the editing portion of it, which is not easy, and
A lot of time.
was overdone on my end, on my part. I feel like because we wanted to constantly grow how we were building videos, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of our videos on YouTube for Ditch Panda, like they're like movies. They're like cinematic movies. Mm-hmm. They're not like shitty done fucking.
And that was by design because we felt like we wanted to have that edge over other
Which we
people
did.
on the channel, which we do. We still do.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't do it anymore, but we still do. So, but you get to a point where the juice isn't worth the squeeze because we just couldn't get the content that
it was like we're down to 2 days a week to film. If it wasn't for audio video problems, it was like you're also trying to catch fish.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the whole idea, right? And guess what? Fish don't always play by your rules.
Yeah, and you can't. We're not that good at fish. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. And it was tough. So we made the hard choice to kind of close up shop on that end. And we knew we were getting back to this anyway. Now,
we always told you guys we were coming back.
yeah, and we're men
And
of our
the
word.
whole time, don't get it twisted, the whole time we were doing this, we were talking about bringing the podcast back also.
Yes.
But it was another time thing. It was like, can we do the Ditch Panda YouTube fishing and record a podcast?
Yeah, which is an insane amount of work.
Yeah,
I mean mostly
it is crazy.
Yeah, it's an insane amount of work.
But the amount of time that goes into a podcast is miles less than it goes into shooting a video for YouTube as far as like going out and fishing. And
There's
editing.
way more things that are under our control.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Work was getting very busy for me.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys don't know, or maybe you do. Some of you do. I work for a company rigging bass boats.
Yeah.
So I'm in that industry. I'm in the bass boat industry, I guess, if you want to call it that.
That's what it is.
And it's the coolest thing I've ever done
For work.
for work.
Yeah.
And to the point where it doesn't feel like, well, it does feel like work, but on a different level.
Sure. Well, you enjoy it.
I enjoy the hell of it. And taking on more responsibility, getting more responsibility, doing all these things, it takes away from all the other things
Right.
in your life. So one of them being trying to edit videos for an absorbent amount of time.
Yeah.
Because one of our videos would take me start to finish. If I just worked on it, it would take me a couple days. If all I did was do that for
You're talking about it would take
4 to
10
5
hours
Yeah, it would take about 10 hours
to edit a video from
edit
start
a
to
video.
finish.
Yeah.
Funny enough, we both ended up in the boat industry. Mm-hmm. Paul works rigging bass boats for electronics and sound and guys do all kinds of stuff now. Restoration now and carpet. And
Yeah, we're really taking on
really
a bunch.
doing all kinds of stuff now. And I work for a major manufacturer of wakeboarding boats.
Yeah. Which there are a lot of boat manufacturers in Tennessee, both on that end and on the
Very
bass boat
weird.
end.
Didn't know that. Didn't know they were all here. It makes sense when there's so much water around that you would do that.
I mean, it's a crazy thing. I mean, you've got, on the bass boat side, just to name a few, you've got Phoenix and Icon, which are arguably two of the larger manufacturers, I guess, outside of Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Where everything else is built, basically.
Yeah.
And we're really close to Arkansas.
And Texas.
And Texas. Oh, well, Skeeter, is in Texas. So that's
Yeah.
about it. But
Rangers
they're-
in Texas. No, not anymore.
No, they're in Arkansas. They've been in Arkansas.
Vexus is in Texas.
Nope, they're in Arkansas also.
Okay.
About 5 miles away from Ranger.
Okay.
Both in flippin' Arkansas.
Got it. Interesting.
Bass Cats in Arkansas. Camus.
Well, yeah, we both ended up in the boating industry, which, works out.
And for the most part, love our work. I mean, it's fantastic. It's fun. It's fun as hell. I get, Cody is on the manufacturing side. I'm on the rigging side. Two different places, by the way. But
yeah, different places.
But man, I tell you what, like, I didn't think I would like it as much as I do. And what I mean by that is, I knew I'd love doing it, but being in it and meeting the people that I meet on a daily basis, being part of the rigging process and the type of stuff that we do on a daily basis, it like gives me that creative thing too.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
So it's and being part of one of the best rigging companies in the world doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
Literally.
and I say that not being cocky.
Yeah.
Just
Or joking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really is like it's just a phenomenal thing.
Yeah.
So, and blessed to, I went in there for part-time work, which is hilarious. Like a friend of ours that works at a tackle shop that's owned by a pro, and Michael Neal, he fishes for Major League Fishing. He's a pro. Owns a company, owns a bait shop here in Dayton called Real Deal Tackle. And a friend of ours that watched our videos and also is from California, but we didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, one day I was in there grabbing stuff, and this is a great story because one day I'm in there grabbing stuff, and he goes, "Man, are you going to do anything for work?" I'm like, "Not if I can help it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "We got a part-time job?" I'm like, "Here?" He's like, "Well, yeah, I can get you a job here for sure. But no, you got to go down to, the shop down the way there. Man, they've been trying to get me to go down there to do this whole thing. It's like it's a process to build pads for boats, right? And so you take carpet off and you put this pad down and it doesn't soak water in and this whole nine. It's
like sea decking.
Yeah, it's called Reflex. The company is Reflex that
There's like
builds
15 companies that build that stuff. Some are better than others.
Yeah, C-Deck is one.
Marine Mat's
one, which actually is polyethylene, if I'm not mistaken, which is the same material we use.
Yeah. It's dope.
C-Deck is EVA foam, which is fucking terrible. I'm just going to say that. It's just not good. It's flimsy and it tears apart. Anyway, point is, he was like, they've been trying to get me to go down there to start scanning boats for this stuff and da-da-da. Maybe you should go down there and talk to him. All right. Well, fuck it. I'll go down there and talk to him. We actually brought the boat there.
Yeah, we brought our boat there to get rigged. So
I've had the boat there. We had that boat there twice to get different stuff done. One for their harness and the other for the console mount and some other stuff. Anyway. So I'm like, well, I'm familiar with the place. The place is nice. It's got an awesome vibe, whatever. Plus, they're amazing. So, yeah, I'll go down there. So I go down there and chat with the owner. And I'm like, Mike asked me, told me that you might need some part-time work,
Yeah.
running some scanner or something or whatever. He goes, yeah, I'm looking. We're always looking for good help, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well,
here I am.
yeah, if you're in, I'd love to have a conversation about it. This is on a Friday, by the way. So he goes, okay. So, well, here, talk to this fella. And we walk upstairs, and I sat down. We talked for an hour.
Yeah.
And they offered me a job. All right. Start Monday. No shit. Okay. All right. Go down and take piss test, do all da-da-da, whatever. No problem.
You take a piss test?
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyhow, so I start Monday. He goes, can you start Monday? Sure. Start Monday. Never did a part-time shift.
Yeah.
40 plus hours since.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm still there. I've kind of moved from rigging boats to more of the front end stuff. I guess doing more of the sales end, a bunch of other stuff that I'm not going to get into.
Yeah.
Because it's just, that's not what this is about, obviously.
Because that's just boring.
Yeah, that, and it's just like until I decide to ask,
gotcha.
if I can even say anything. Yeah, again, this isn't. I'm not trying to pimp where I work.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And kind of the same thing that we did for the state for no reason at all. When we worked for the state, we didn't actually tell anybody what we did. For the most part.
I think they figured it out.
Oh, they 100% knew.
Didn't know where we worked, though.
No, they didn't know where we worked. They didn't know the intricacies of what we did.
Yeah, we couldn't talk about it.
Obviously, couldn't talk about it. which we can now. So fucking buckle up because it's coming for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean that kind of
yeah.
Oh yeah, and my ex,
Yeah. So
which
like
has
this the whole
been on
time.
the podcast.
We had multiple times.
Yeah. She'd been on the podcast multiple times.
Like a bunch.
A bunch. Yeah.
Like 4 times probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say. Yeah. So,
So they moved out like, okay, so let's just finish
I might have you tell this part of the story about how like everything got paid for.
Okay, I'll tell everything. I guess. I want you to interject where you need to. So they move out. They got here in October. Mm-hmm. They moved out the following August. They were here for like 10 months.
End of July, maybe early
like
August.
somewhere like 8-9 months, somewhere in there.
I'm coming up on a year on that in the place. Yeah.
So yeah, like 9-10 months, whatever it was. They were here. They finally, they got a house to rent.
Yeah, we did try and buy. We were trying to buy.
But
what ended up happening was one story would be that I didn't get a job right away because I didn't want to, and that hurt our opportunity to buy a home. Blessing in disguise, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it hurt. Oh man, can you imagine? So happy about that. Anyway, it arguably hurt our opportunity to buy a house because I didn't have enough time behind the wheel, so to speak, in a new position, even though I worked for the fucking state for 8 years.
Which is fucking bullshit. Yeah. Because when I bought my house, I had been working for a boat manufacturer for 2 weeks when I filled my paperwork out. Mm-hmm. And the dude was like, my guy, the broker was like, he called me. He's like, so you only been there 2 weeks. He's like, I'm like, yep. He's like, what'd you do before that? And I was like, well, I was a correctional officer for 6 years. He was like, oh, he's like, well, that's really good in California. He was like, what was your wages there? I sent him all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that looks good. He's like, I'll just put security somewhere on the on the paperwork for your new job. I'm like, okay. He's like, we'll get it covered. Don't worry about it.
So that's how you get away with it.
Yeah.
If you take a sabbatical, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the deal is you have to go into you technically need to go into the same line of work that you did previous.
Yeah.
For it to...
He was like, dude, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Well, thankfully, we didn't get into it.
Yeah, thank God that you didn't have a good guy like that.
Yeah. Thankfully, we didn't get much further than surface level issue.
Yeah.
Because, again, blessing in disguise that we didn't buy a house because fuck that bitch. I mean, and I'm saying
and
that,
it was a bad time to buy anyway, so the interest rates were through the roof. I mean, they've still bad. But
our house in Corona, well, it wasn't Corona, but it was close to Corona. Our house in in Southern California, we got, Jesus, you fumble much, dickhead? My interest rate was 3.25%.
Yeah. Mine was 5.1 or something.
And the best we could get out here, once I paid our entire life off worth of debt.
Lots of credit card debt, too. Not his.
Yeah. $58,000. Not mine. The best we could get with well over 700s
credit scores
was like 7, almost 8%.
Yeah.
And I am not spending 8% on the same, on a $300,000. You are out of your fucking mind.
Right.
So anyway, blessing in disguise.
Yeah. So they move out, rent a house. Like I said, it was August or late July, whatever it was. You were in the house by August 1st.
Yes.
So
we were. Because we got the keys. Actually, we got the keys in July. I remember that. We got the keys maybe like...
Because they gave you a couple of days early, right?
Yes.
So
yeah. Very cool guy.
They're out. Boom. And, I mean, how long was it? Because I don't really remember.
She moved out. Second week in November.
Okay. So you were there August, September, October, like 3 months. Not even.
Yeah.
Not even.
She had just got a brand new job.
She's got a new job.
Yeah. Spending a bunch of time at work.
Those were air quotes for you just listening.
Air quotes. Yeah, sorry. If you're not watching, air quotes.
Work. Yeah.
And found out that she'd been off the sauce. So
good point.
Yeah.
which I like to hound her for because, like, if I'm drinking, guess what, bud? You're fucking drinking too.
Yeah.
Wasn't happening. She stopped. I wouldn't say she was a heavy drinker.
She was a fucking massive heavy drinker.
Okay, she was a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
And then, like, she had stopped.
About 10 months prior to our knowledge.
Yeah,
To-
like
to-
a couple
to her
months
moving
after
out.
her being here,
Yes.
she had stopped.
Yes. But and just
And
so
it stopped
for
when she
reference,
dropped the dog down the stairs. It was right after that.
So for reference, we both quit drinking, me and her, about a month before my dad died, which also a blessing in disguise. It was
Right.
It was a very good thing to go through that sober, right? When I got out here, I told Cody, I told you,
Yeah.
I go, look, man, we're having a drink when I get there,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Time to enjoy ourselves, kind of situation,
Yeah.
which we did.
She did.
Well, her more than us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then bottles of Tanqueray started coming out,
Yeah.
like that was it. And then, so she,
And then told us she stopped drinking.
yeah, probably early.
When the story I got was because of some new medication.
Yes. Yes. And we're not going to go into any,
No.
for the purpose, like, I'm a fucking dick and I'm going to
Yeah, but
say
we're not
some
gonna
fucked
do
up
that.
shit. I'm going to say some stuff that might hurt some people's feelings,
Not mine.
but I'm not going to go into that aspect of it. So,
No.
because I do actually, I know that,
Sure.
anyway, I know that people go through things. I understand. Like,
Right.
I'm not,
No, we're
I'm
not-
not going to do that. Anyway, point is, she did say she had to, she had to quit over some stuff she was taking.
Yeah.
Some
New medication she
New
was taking.
medication. And
Perfect. Okay.
awesome. And so basically I quit too, again.
Yeah.
Like I'm,
We weren't drinking a lot anyway.
we really weren't. I mean, for us, it was like it was a weekend thing.
Yeah.
It was a weekend thing.
It was like it always has been.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we're not drinking on work nights.
Right.
Like,
No. And what I found out was that she had been drinking after she told everybody,
right.
but we really didn't have any idea.
Yeah. Which is hilarious because do you remember? I don't even know if I told you this. After you guys, she had stopped drinking and you guys moved out and then everything happened, which we'll get into in a second. Like I went into the bar one day and I was looking at bottles, like the bottles I don't ever touch.
Right.
And I was like, God damn, there's not a lot left in those.
Yeah. I think you did tell me. I
That
know.
fucking Jack Select bottle, I haven't drinking that since I pulled it up here.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker was almost full because that's the fucking whiskey that no one will drink with me because it's too fucking. It's like it's a burner.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Fucking. That's not. I don't even know what select that was. That was like the fucking. It was like some fucking. I don't remember what it was, but it's some fucking nice bottle of Jack.
Yeah.
And I was looking at stuff and I'm like, this stuff seems pretty low. And I'm
Right.
like, there's like only two other whiskey drinkers in this house, and I know that Paul would have been like, hey man, I'm gonna drink this.
Yeah.
But you weren't drinking.
Well, what's funny is, and not out of any, like, well, some form of respect, I guess, but at the end of the day, like, if I'm going to go into your liquor cabinet or your bar and pull something from the top shelf, let's just say,
Yeah.
there was a top shelf, whatever. I'm not going to do that by myself.
Yeah, you'd be like,
Like-
hey man, we're having this.
Right. Like, I'm going to grab a bottle and be like, hey, man, we're having a drink.
Yeah.
Like, I would never, ever, and we're brothers.
Yeah.
Like, I would never, ever grab anything out of there that I wasn't pouring a second glass for.
Sure.
Right? Like,
But alcoholics do it all the time.
they do. And,
all the time.
and we had no idea,
We had no idea.
which is fucking crazy considering what we did for a living.
Yeah, like our whole job was basically to read people.
And there was three adults in the house that had no idea.
Yeah. Weird.
We talk about this for a couple. I bring this up for a couple reasons. Obviously, to tell the story, for you guys to get up to speed on what went down in our history or whatever. But also for like if you have family or friends like in a position like this, it is way more difficult to figure this out than you guys think. I slept next to this girl for 4 fucking years.
Yeah, man.
We were under the same roof here for 10 months. And we didn't even have a suspicion.
Alcoholics are super good at it. Mm-hmm. Super good at being
Super good at
alcoholics.
it.
Unless you're my buddy Randy, terrible at it.
Terrible.
I
Yeah,
fucking love
God
you,
bless
Randy,
that
but goddamn, you're terrible at
Yeah.
it.
So, again, like, it was an interesting thing. And so to kind of get past all that for a second, like, she moved out second week of November. Told me that she had been going to AA meetings for over a month.
Yeah.
Also told me that she had
Been drinking.
been drinking and hadn't had a drink for like 4-ish months, which I was just like, what?
Yeah, what do you mean
happening?
4-ish months? We haven't been drinking for 10.
Yeah. And then told me that, you know, a lot of it was my fault, all this bullshit. Anyway, so I go to work on a Monday. So hold on. So I pick up the kids on a Friday.
Yep.
Okay. We had decided to try and work it out that whole week,
Yeah.
right? After she dropped this on me that she wanted out or whatever. I pick up the kids on Friday. I get home and I'm having dinner. I bought dinner for us. The kids had already eaten. They're
Yeah.
watching TV or their iPads or whatever the fuck they're doing. And she says, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So I come over here with the kids.
Yeah.
Stay the weekend here, basically.
Yeah.
Decided to let the kids, to tell the kids on Sunday before we left to bring them home and let them say goodbye.
Right.
She'd known the kids for 4 years. They're only fucking 6. They
Yeah.
just turned 6 this year.
Yeah.
They'd known her for over half their lives. And I wanted for some reason, I decided, well, maybe they would, doesn't matter. The point is, I decided we're going to let them know,
Yeah.
me and her in the living room, let them say their goodbyes. And I told her, be gone by the time I get back. She had already been kind of moving out anyway, obviously over the weekend. So it wasn't that big of a deal logistically for her. So she does. When I got back, she was gone. Whatever. I go to work Monday.
Yeah.
And about maybe lunchtime, my phone just goes off. Text messages from my family or certain people. You guys were at work, so you didn't get to see that stuff. It's amazing. And so basically they're saying, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, have you looked at Facebook? I go, no, I'm at work.
Yeah.
Go to Facebook. So I open up Facebook and I see she's in a relationship with some dude
Yeah.
that started on November 1st.
Yeah.
It is November 18th.
Right.
So I'm like, what the fuck? So I send her a message. I go, are you fucking serious? She's like, what? I'm like, what do you mean, what?
Hey, don't what me.
What the fuck do you mean, what?
Yeah.
Facebook. You're with so-and-so? Like, I don't know the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. We'll call him John. No, that's a terrible name. Anyway, point is,
Maximus.
yeah. She goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, go to fucking Facebook. So,
Like,
yeah,
you didn't-
so anyway, I fucking I shared it to her on
Yeah.
Messenger.
Yeah.
I shared it to her. You're with this fucking dude since November 1st? You've been fucking around? So you went behind my back and you were fucking around with this dude. Looks like a crackhead, but whatever. We'll get past that for a second. Coke addict, whatever. Meth, got it. Dude's been in prison, was living in a halfway house.
Yeah.
While they were together, while they met at AA or NA, one of the two. Sure. I'm guessing AA. Not one of the rules, by the way. And
it's actually against one of the rules.
Yeah, just very much against it.
I have the book right there if you want to read it.
Yeah. And she's like, I can't. This is what she said. No bullshit. I can't help what people put on Facebook. All right, please. I'm not 12 fucking years old. Neither are you. What are you? What the fuck do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, come on. We're past that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you accepted the relationship. Yeah. Anyway, we're beyond that. Like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, I'm not 12 years old. I know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I mean, we met at a meeting. I didn't realize he was going to put that up. I'm like, you didn't realize he was going to put it up the day after you fucking walked out? The day after you met? Whatever, man.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. You know, get the rest of your shit and get the fuck out of my house. Like, you got a couple other things. I need you to go up to the fucking storage unit, grab your shit, get the fuck out. Anyway. So, a week later, he moves in with her.
Yeah.
Because he got released from the halfway house. Yeah.
That's that.
And that's that. Yeah. I mean, so there it is. Now you're up to speed. I have a girlfriend. Her name's Courtney. She's fucking incredible. I mean, you will know more about her.
Cody has only met her once still.
Cody is meeting her again this weekend.
I think it's a meeting. Seeing her again.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can't meet somebody. Anyway, she's fucking rad. She's a Jeeper. And so that brings me to that, I guess, unless you've got more to talk about.
Nope.
Yeah. I paid my ex's entire life off.
Yeah.
And then she bounced like a few months later.
Yeah.
So
pretty uncool.
$58,000. But who's counting? Anyway.
The state of California.
Yeah, state of California. We'll get to that later. So this last weekend, my kids, they met Courtney for the first time.
Yeah.
Along with my mom and stepdad, who were out here for a week, which was awesome.
Wonderful.
Yes, we had dinner. So that next day on Saturday, decided to go take a ride. She's got a really badass Rubicon. We've gone on plenty of rides already. And I was waiting for a good time or good situation to have the kids meet her.
Sure.
For her to meet the kids.
I haven't heard this yet, so.
And so as you can imagine, I would hope you would imagine, I know she was very cool with it. Like, I had some reservations.
That was the word I was going to use.
Yeah. Anytime you're a single parent, obviously you want to walk. Yeah. I mean, you got to be careful.
Absolutely.
Who your kids meet. Right. And, my kids have met no one besides Jess and now Courtney of folks girls that I've dated.
Sure.
You know, and that's by design. Obviously you want to protect your kids. You want to protect yourself, you know, everything.
Yeah.
And so me and Courtney have been dating we've been dating for a couple months now.
Yeah.
And it was time. I mean, she's fucking awesome. Love being with her. And, she's great people. But again, you know, you never fucking know. Right. And I mean, if this is an example of, if that last story wasn't an example of, you never know, I don't know what there is for a story about that. But, got to move on, got to figure that shit out. And you got a feeling about someone, you go with it, you know?
Yeah.
And, so it was time. And we decided, hey, let's go. Let's dump all this shit on Courtney at one time.
Sure, why not?
6-year-old twins, a mom, a stepdad, fucking A, man. Let's just jump in the deep end. And she was game, which was cool. And so we took a ride, ran around up in the mountains in East Tennessee. The kids were like, we want to ride the Jeep. We want to ride the Jeep. So finally we put their boosters in the Jeep and they took off. Her and John were driving. We're in there and the kids and me and my mom were in my truck.
Yeah.
You know. And so they took the ride, the last half of the ride in the Jeep. And our deal was, so she doesn't have doors on the Rubicon right now.
Right.
No roof, obviously. It's summertime, man. It's like fucking, if you can take your fucking doors off, do it. Anyway, so we were like, all right, well, when we get back to payment, we'll put them back in the truck because safety or whatever, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So they weren't getting out of that fucking thing. And according to both John and Courtney, the ride home on the pavement from the base of the mountain that we got off of to her place where we ended up having a barbecue, my daughter was laughing the entire time. Just the entire time, belly giggles, like she could not help herself. She thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Did not have doors.
Yeah. And she was just like, her head was out the window, or she was waving at us. My son was just dying. You know, we had to stop one time to get so that Courtney could grab Doritos for him. They're fucking everywhere in that thing, of course, because my kids miss their mouth 85% of the time with food. Mostly my daughter. Bless her heart. It was a fucking great day, man. It was awesome. I mean, those kids fucking loved it, and they could not stop talking about it the entire way home, the next morning, all the way back to Georgia, everything. Yeah. And then they're like, when can we go? When can we do it again? And I let Courtney know, I'm like, well, we might have made some monsters there. My mom was like, man, I hope she's all right with it. And she was like, man, that's fucking awesome. So we're going to be doing that more anyway. Pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Well, how long have we been going, man? An hour and 11.
Well, after an hour.
A little after an hour.
Yeah.
We're going to try to keep them around this time for you guys. Somewhere between an hour and a half. We're not going to go on those 2.5 hour binges anymore. Well, we might probably do it, but
100% we're doing that.
we're going to try and keep them about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But wait, let's let them know what they can expect from us in the future here, maybe. Yeah?
I've talked way too much, so please.
My life is pretty vanilla.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to, it's going to be the same thing it's always been for the most part. We're going to get on here and just start bullshitting. We're going to have maybe a little more direction. Not so much. It's not going to end up being a thing because it hasn't been a thing already. So
We talked about this a little ways back where we were like, well, me and Cody.
yeah.
Like, yeah, man, we'll do this and we'll do that. And we'll have like, not segments necessarily, but just like more
like a
specific
direction.
Yeah. More specific.
So we're always going to do like, we're going to, we used to have the F now, the free to drink of the week. We're always going to have some type of daily debauchery, that's what we call it, daily dose of debauchery, cigars, whatever we're smoking, whatever we're drinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be water. Sometimes it might just be this vape. Who knows, a little Copenhagen every once in a while, never hurt anybody.
Yeah. We still haven't found a name. Well, we haven't got, we've got a few names so far, but not a lot. So we still need you guys to comment for the Sasquatch.
So if you're just listening, not on YouTube, follow the link in the description. Go to YouTube, leave us a comment on the video for what we're going to name Sasquatch here. Mm-hmm. We're going to do this a few more weeks, till we get a bunch of names. And if we get a bunch of them, we'll have to have a bracket like we said in the first episode.
Yeah.
But we're going to figure out a name for Sasquatch.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good dude. He's pretty quiet.
Solid.
But he smokes cigars.
Yeah. Wears boonie hats.
He does occasionally wear boonie hats. I mean, the guy, he protects this room.
This realm.
Yeah. And have you been to the Sasquatch Museum?
I didn't know there was one.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's something I should know.
In Georgia, you've never heard of that?
Nope.
Dude, Courtney is all about it. She's been there a bunch.
I want to go.
But she wants to go. She wants to bring me, which means she needs to facilitate all of us to go because we need to go.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
100%.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, we need to get some more Sasquatch memorabilia.
I got a lot.
I know, but
not really a lot.
Yeah.
I got some. Got a little guy over there.
Oh, you do have a little guy over there. I didn't even notice that one.
Yeah, he's chilling.
He looks more like Chewbacca, sort of. He's got more of a Chewie kind of situation happening.
Yeah, sure.
We'll get some pictures of
different dialect.
Yeah, that's the
language would be dialect.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking that would be like the Eastern European version.
Sure.
Maybe.
Yeah, man.
And this would be like a Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, maybe he's color phase. You never can tell.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a Yeti per se.
That would be cool.
But we need one.
Get a Yeti.
Yeah.
Just color face Sasquatch, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't know.
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just might be the reason, like where they're at.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Maybe.
Adapted to the white,
Sure. Yeah. So we have that going.
like polar bears.
Yeah. Sure. Well, polar bears are pretty much always white or blood red because they've just eaten.
But at one point they weren't white.
What were they?
Not white.
Are they descendants of the square face bear?
Yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Why didn't I know that?
I just threw that out there.
You did. You have no idea.
I'm gonna fucking Google it right now. Like polar bears weren't just born all of a sudden in white.
Well, I mean, we were monkeys, right?
Maybe.
So I get that. I mean, obviously, square face bear. I mean, came across the land bridge, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Now we're getting into some deep shit now. So
hold on. Where did polar bears come from? Yeah,
Alaska.
from the brown bear.
Okay.
Polar bears
fuck it.
evolved 1 to 3 million years ago from the brown bear. That's
It's a long time, and I'll be honest with you.
Which we don't even know is true.
Some of our faith-based audience might disagree with that 1 to
Sure.
3 million number.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how many of those folks are listening.
Probably
But
not a lot.
Yeah, I mean that would be weird for them.
Or not. I mean, sure, you can be,
Yeah, they might
I'm just
take
saying.
a
That's why I said
take a dip in
allegedly
the wild side.
3 million. 1
Sure.
to 3 million.
Yeah, I mean whatever.
Could be shorter, could be longer. We don't really actually know.
I mean one day closer to Jesus, my man.
Just please stop it.
That's a weird thing.
That's a dumb thing.
That's a weird thing to put on Facebook.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't
Like
say
I
that.
feel like
Don't
that's
say
a.
things like
I
that.
feel like people should probably knock on that guy's door, make sure everything's good.
Make sure you're okay.
Same with that alcoholic thing. You just never know.
You just never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the general direction is basically the same as always been. We're gonna have our daily dose of debauchery in the beginning. Tell you guys what we're doing, smoking, drinking. We've been jostling around some ideas of doing some of the game we used to play Triggered every episode because people really liked those stories. And for
Including
those-
us.
Yeah,
by
and
the
for
way.
those that don't know, like
One of our favorites.
I would just say a random word that Paul doesn't know. I'm just going to pick a random word from the dictionary, essentially, and he's going to tell me the first story that he has that comes to his mind with that word. If you guys have listened before, those usually are pretty funny. Get pretty wild. Sometimes they're not funny. Sometimes they're sad. But that's just something we do. We've been, playing around doing that. Maybe once an episode or something.
We're thinking about, what about prison story of the week? Or maybe that should be like a prison story of the month. Should that be just an episode? I feel like that's probably not a good idea.
No, that's not a good. That's too heavy.
Here's the thing, guys. We are uncorked.
Yeah,
We
really.
do not have to abide by any fucking statute or whatever.
No, as long as we don't
now.
use any names or anything, we're uncorked.
Which we won't.
Yeah. I think that if we do the triggered thing every episode, like once an episode, or, I do one, you do one, or just one of us, like those stories are going to come up. Like over time, they're just going to come up.
Do you have like a one? Do you have like a word?
On me right now?
Like, do you want to hit me with one? Or,
Let's each do one.
oh, okay. All right. Who's going first?
I'll give you a word first. I got an idea. I'm going to use a random word generator.
Oh, that's a good idea,
Thank
man.
you.
That's a fantastic idea. God.
There's a thing called, I just guessed it. Number of words, run, generate random words. Velvet.
Velvet.
Hey, man, that was a
Okay.
random word that was generated.
Jesus.
This is the fun part. Sometimes those stories come up real quick.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me. Think of your story. I'm just talking to the lovely audience at home. Velvet. It is a hot seat you get put on.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Velvet's a tough one. Only because, like, the only thing I can really think of would be, like, a Crown Royal bag. Like,
Yeah.
for some reason, that comes to my
they're
mind immediately.
velvety.
Yeah. And, I mean, honestly, like, I used to... So, I drank a fuck ton of Crown
Yeah.
when I was in my younger years. 15 years ago. Was I drinking Crown still when I was hanging out with you?
Yeah.
Like, when we first
Well,
started hanging out?
Yeah. That was
Yeah, I mean, I dabble with a lot of Crown. So, like, okay. I would say that a girl I dated in late last year, we could call it a rebound. I guess if you want to, whatever.
That's
fucking
stupid.
She was a drinker. She would so. I don't know if you guys know the whole Stanley Cup thing.
Oh, yeah.
The
Swept the
cups.
nation.
Yeah, Swept the Nation. It was like some weird fucking TikTok thing.
Yeah.
I think is probably where it started because all stupid shit now starts on TikTok.
Everything does.
Yeah. And like these things were going for absurd amounts of money, but also like people were collecting these Stanley Cups, these Stanley drinking cups. Sorry. Stanley Cup just
fucking
ended.
Walmart tool brand, basically.
Seriously. But Stanley's been around forever.
Ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was a drinker, but she would drink it in her Stanley drinking cup.
Well, that's what one does.
And her favorite alcohol was Peach Crown,
It is good. I don't fucking like Crown at
Yeah.
all, but man, that peach Crown is good.
which is funny because you don't like peach flavored.
I know.
Drinks.
I've been making old fashions with them.
So that would be good.
They are so
yeah,
good.
that would be good. So I think Crown is kind of like one of those things you maybe start drinking in your 20s.
It's one of those drinks that you think you really like.
And you drink Crown maybe into your mid 30s, and then you move on to something that's not $19.99 because you're a fucking adult and you can
Yeah.
buy real whiskey,
Yeah.
bourbon. But like she drank Peach Crown and like Sprite or just like soda water or something
ginger
like
ale or
that.
something.
Yeah. And she would just always bring it over.
Yeah.
She would just have her at the ready.
Yeah, sure.
You know, this thing. And I just always thought that I was like, man, I don't think this is going to work because like.
Yeah, you
You're-
should, like, if you have a car handle, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
And
a
I'm just
handle
like-
in the car ready to go.
yeah. And you're like, and then she would say things like, I swear I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's a
Yeah.
dead giveaway.
just because you don't go to meetings
Doesn't
mean you're not alcoholic. So, I mean, just live it, man. Like, be
Yeah.
your best self. You know,
be your
If-
best alcoholic.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, man, just own it or
Yeah.
whatever. She was pretty fucking crazy, and it didn't last very long at all, obviously. But yeah, that's what I think about when the Velvet
Peach
name
Crown.
comes out. Also, I guess going into the Stanley like that because it's part of that story. Like my favorite story, I think, is I still have my dad's Stanley like coffee,
Oh, yeah, the old, like, the thermos.
the thermos
yeah.
that looks like it got hit by. It's rusty as fuck.
Yeah, because it rolled around in salt water on the boat all the time.
Right. But he had that in Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I'm pretty sure it got hit by, like, I don't know, maybe
Whole
it got,
manner of things.
yeah, like a fucking North Vietnamese guy.
Yeah.
Probably. Like, I don't know if he hit him in the head with it or something. It's about the same size, whatever. So, yeah, I don't know if he fucking took, like, Viet Cong fire with it or something. It's got a pretty gnarly dent in it, but I'm never going to get rid of it. I think it's fucking amazing.
It's
It's like
amazing.
just this badass. I'll bring it. I'll show it off because it's fucking
Should.
awesome. Yeah, that would be my.
We do show and tell.
Yeah, we could do show and tell for sure.
Let us know what you guys want to hear.
Yeah.
Fire me your trigger word.
Oh fuck. Okay.
You want to use my random word
I
generator?
do. Yeah, I do.
Just hit the blue button.
Route.
A route?
This is not gonna work.
Yeah, it
as
is.
well.
Give me that thing.
Okay.
Route. A route. Let's see. That's a terrible noise in the mic. I really apologize for that. That's the fucking vape. Like, I don't know what it's doing.
It's going.
Popcorn lunging us.
It's going into our lungs.
Yeah.
I don't know if that noise specifically is, but
Route. Let's see. Like, I feel like I'm getting a story. It's coming to me like of like a bad route I took sometime or something.
that's where I would go with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think. Like, that's what comes in my head is like, I know for sure I've taken a bad turn somewhere at some point.
Yeah. The few of them.
Yeah.
I spent 4 years in a bad turn. Or route, if you will.
Yeah.
But it got me here.
That is true. And here we are.
Got me here, sitting on this deal. Not particularly comfortable for me. But hey, I do this shit for you guys.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is. Route. Let's see. The story that comes to my mind is, it's not a funny story, but it doesn't matter. That's what came to my mind.
Yeah.
So I used to own a Pontiac G6 GT. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a 4-door sedan V6, fast little car, very low to the ground, low profile tires.
Are those rear wheel drive or front wheel drive?
Front wheel drive.
Were they? Okay. They looked rear wheel drive because they were kind of like raked out a little bit.
Yeah, no, they were.
Would have been a lot cooler.
I really loved that car.
Yeah.
It was fucking fast. It really was.
You really liked your Subaru too.
I really liked that car. That was my favorite car I've ever owned.
Similar in regard to like, sporty and that sort of thing.
Yeah. That was my Subaru is my favorite car I ever owned. But anyways, I own this fucking red Pontiac G6. And I mean, not meant for anything but smooth pavement.
Sure. Sorry.
I drove that car. I left at 1 o'clock in the morning to go see my dad. And I've got a trunk full of guns. My fucking 270s are there. I had like 2 shotguns.
Shout out Dinky.
Yeah. Like 222s. I had a trunk full of guns. All the ammo. Like, I'm driving to see my dad in Vegas.
Where you go? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to spend, it's summer in Vegas, like I used to do all the time. And
I
we were going to go shooting. So I brought my guns with me. So I get there. I left at 1 o'clock in the morning. I get there I made record time. I broke my mom's record. I made it in 5 hours and 12 minutes or something. Stupid.
That's pretty fucking good.
I had the fucking cruise control set at 110 out of the Tehachapi Pass through the fucking desert.
Yeah, it was 17 guns, a shitload of ammo.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a bad idea.
No, it was a terrible idea.
Terrible idea.
Unbelievable, though.
Yeah.
How many were registered, roughly? All of them? Probably not. How old were you?
First of all, hold on. I would have been 19.
Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome.
All of them were
State of
registered.
California.
The one was grandfathered in because it was my great grandpa's that shotgun up there.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, and the Mossberg 22 below it.
We might be able to see
grandfathered in.
that stuff. If not, we'll
Yeah, it
show
doesn't
them off
matter.
some
Yeah, it
more.
doesn't matter.
Anyway.
So I made it in fucking 5 hours and 12 minutes. My mom's previous record was 5 hours and 19 minutes.
Oh, got her by 5 minutes.
7
Good job,
minutes.
man. Yeah, right.
7
yeah.
minutes.
9 minus. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was to Tropicana. That's where we measured that time distance. That was from
okay.
our house in Paso to Tropicana.
Got it.
When you pass Tropicana on the freeway.
That broad was going 100 plus.
Oh,
then.
dude, she used to have a fucking Mustang, dude. GT Mustang.
Yeah.
She was.
She loves her sports cars.
Yeah,
Except
she
for
just
now.
fucking. She is why that's where I got it.
Yeah, you got the gene from her.
Yeah.
Fair.
Anyways, so yeah, I come out of the Tehachapi Pass and I'm making very good time the whole time. Man, I fucking passed I out of Bakersfield. I start the pass. If anyone's been to Vegas out of Bakersfield on the 58, there's a mean swooping turn at the bottom there when you're out of the pass. It swoops down and starts to come back up when you level up with the straight shitty ground of Bakersfield. Big swooping turn. And I'm coming down the hill going towards Vegas, and that turn, and there's a minivan that has rolled in that turn. I don't know how many times it rolled, but it was crunched. I mean, it was a crunched aluminum can. And there was one cop, and I saw him spin around. That's what made me look to that side. He spun from my side to that side. He was the first person there. And there was a minivan, and there was fucking kids' clothes slung everywhere. And I was like, I'm just going to keep driving. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I wanted to pull over, but I was like, I don't think I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
So I just kept going. Anyway, so make it to Vegas. Doesn't matter. That's not the story. So
Sure.
yeah, I just wanted to tell you that all
Ladies
happened in the
know that.
same. Well, I just kept driving. I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah.
So burn to Vegas.
They
I
all
get
live.
there at 6:30 in the morning or something. I left at somewhere around 1. So we go out shooting somewhere in that trip, and like he's like, my dad works with some dude that's like, oh yeah, there's a good place to shoot in North Vegas. Like, take this road to this road. This is before like smartphones were a thing, and he's like, take this road to this road to this road. It's a dirt road. You'll get there. You'll see there's a bunch of shells on the ground. There's a big berm.
Yeah.
So we're out in fucking North Vegas on BLM land.
Lovely.
Yeah,
place.
terrible. It's hot. It's like 120.
Sure.
So we like
fucking
we
summer.
turn down this road, turn on this road, turn on this road, and all of a sudden we're on this really bad dirt road.
Yeah.
I mean, it is potted,
Yeah.
and you're driving on rocks, and I mean rocks. I'm talking about like golf, like softball size rocks.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm driving.
Perfect for a Pontiac G6.
Yeah, and it's just like kink, kink, kink. Fucking, it had dented the running boards on the outside, like all the way down one side, all the way down the other side.
Yeah.
Rims chunked up.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it was terrible.
All to just go shoot.
All
some
to go
shitty
shoot
place
for
at
some
buck 20.
shitty place in 120 degree weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a bad route.
It was a bad route.
Yeah. Yeah. They should have cut that off early.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
5 yard
Flipped a
man.
Huey and
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
You know what? Let's go to the indoor range.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Climate controlled.
Seriously, air conditioning.
Seriously. Wow.
Yeah, there's that.
Man. Pontiac G6. Who knows off-road material? You know what I mean?
Me, apparently.
Yeah, no. Testing the limits.
Yeah, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Bad.
I'm done.
You're done. You're done with that?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Don't forget to comment down below with Yeti's name, Sasquatch's name.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, really, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Literally, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, subscribe, leave us 5-star ratings on all those podcast apps.
Here's the best part. It's all free.
You don't have to do anything; just click it.
Yeah, and it helps us out.
You're on your phone already. I don't care if you're driving. Reach up, touch it.
You're fine. I mean, look, anywhere you listen or watch the video,
Yeah.
you know, just
If you're just listening and not watching, at least go to YouTube and subscribe. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to watch it.
more fun to watch us. And,
You should be watching us on Spotify, right?
yeah, I mean, Spotify as
We're
well. as
trying to get
YouTube.
that figured out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people just don't like doing it.
It's really
kind of
dumb
weird
that you
because
can and
it's-
people don't.
It's a service they provide.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? If you're already recording it for YouTube, why wouldn't you put it on Spotify?
Yeah. Like it's just
not
a
like it hurts
file to
anything.
upload somewhere else.
Yeah, it's very easy.
So, well, all right, guys.
Smoked some cigars, drank some beers, talked about Sasquatch, a couple triggered words just to clear up, you know, just to make
to
sure we're
knock the
still
dust off
sort
of
of.
it.
Yeah, it really was kind of like knocking the dust off. You know,
Yeah.
spit on it.
You fucking hack toi. And
That
spit on that thing.
is a prelude to another podcast
Yes, it
because
is.
I have to know about this.
I'll tell you what I know.
God, what a nightmare. I mean, the trending. How did it get to this point?
I have no idea.
It all started with that bitch on.
We're not
Dr.
talking about it
Phil.
right now.
No, I mean, but it all started on that bitch.
Like stuff
right?
going really super viral.
Wasn't it that chick on Dr. Phil? Like, you know the one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the Catch Me Outside girl.
Yeah, Catch Me Outside.
Yeah, what about her?
It all kind of started there with her, and then in these like sensations that come from this weird shit like that.
Yeah, you're right. That
Is
was the
there
first
another-
one that I can remember that went really big.
Okay, so it's her.
She didn't go near as big as the Hawk Twa girl, though.
Really though? That bitch is making like $1 million a day.
Boy, I'm telling you, like, they're putting Hawk Twa on crankbaits.
That's true. Yeah, Hawktwa 2024, right, or something.
We're gonna get into that on another episode.
Is
the
there
next
someone in between? Is there
I'm
something
sure
in
there
between?
probably is, but
That's a big timeline if you think about
Huge.
it. When was the Catch Me Outside girl?
2016, 17, somewhere
Yeah,
around
that's a
there.
long time. You're talking 7-8 years.
I'm sure there was, but nothing that sticks out to me like that.
Okay, all right.
I mean, can you think of anything that
I
sticks out like that?
I mean, both girls,
both females,
both
yeah.
females.
And we don't even know. It's only been like a week,
Now, it's been more. Well, it's been a little bit longer than that. I
maybe a
guess.
week and a half, 2 weeks, something
Yeah.
like that.
Fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that is unbelievable. I didn't even know what the fuck it was. I had no idea.
I
was
saw
seeing.
the original video.
I know, and you told me that, and all I was seeing, like on my feed, was like a fucking glide bait with Hawk Twa on it, and like I'm like, what is happening? Like, who is this Hawk Twog? I'll be honest with you, no bullshit. I thought it was like some really badass Asian glide bait designer.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I saw like a bunch in a row, and I'm like, who is this Hawk Twog guy? Like, no, being 100% honest. So yeah, we're gonna get into that on a future pod for sure. The next one has to be that.
I mean, it's on bumper stickers, hats, clothes. People got video edits of it.
You motherfuckers need more to do. Yeah. And I say that in the absolute most positive way, by the way. But I'm just saying.
At the same time, fucking thank you.
Oh, absolutely. From the bottom of our fucking podcast hearts. I mean, unbelievable. You guys are some creative fucking geniuses.
We haven't even
McGraw. God. And in the middle of it, we have like, if you want to talk about like sensations, like shit.
The Titanic sub was a pretty big sensation.
Titanic sub, we'll talk about that for sure.
Who knows what the government did while we were all distracted with that?
Seriously.
She's probably a government plant, let's be honest here.
100%. Taylor Swift and
Kelsey.
Yeah. I mean, that was massive news last year.
No one gives a shit now, huh?
I'm telling you, it's still there, though. There's still a bunch.
Well, come football season, there'll be. We gotta go. Next season. Yeah, first of all, I gotta pee. It's been an hour and 36 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing pretty good. I mean, we used to go 2+.
I know.
But, I get it. We're still...
And I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet.
I know, I haven't either. It's fucking...
10:30.
Really late for that sort of thing.
But guess what? I'm gonna fucking
do
your work.
100%.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah.
Till next week.
Peace out.